Good morning, everyone. I'm Brigadier General John Kubenick, the commander of the Warner Robins Air Logistics Complex. This is Miss Donna Frazier, the Vice Director, Colonel Mike Lawrence, our Vice Commander. Welcome to our virtual commander's call. I have to admit, I'm really not a Facebook guy, so this is something new for me. But during these times, there's a lot of new happening for all of us, isn't there? So today I just wanted to talk to you a little bit, address some questions that we're hearing a lot of, and then through some kind of magic of Facebook, I'm going to be able to answer some of your questions too afterwards, and we'll try to get to all of those. Thanks for joining us today, and thanks for what you do. You don't hear it enough. You need to hear it from me, and I know that Ms. Frazier and Colonel Lawrence will echo these words. Thank you. Thank you for your service, especially in this time of crisis. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of anxiety, and there's a lot of fear out there right now. I'd be lying to you if I didn't say that I feel it too. People are scared and they're worried. And if we're not worried for ourselves, we're worried for our loved ones, for our kids, or for our aging parents. There's just a lot of fear out there right now. And there's, on top of that, everyone's trying to figure out, a lot of us are, how we homeschool on top of doing the work we have to do. So if anyone has tips on second grade math and how to do that, let me know, because I'm trying to figure that out right now. Okay, so today I really want to address the teammates from the ALC. Again, when we're out and about, from the discussions we've had with many of you, we hear the same couple questions that come up all the time. And so I want to try to answer some of those questions today. But I'll tell you, some of these questions don't have good answers. And some of what you're going to hear from me is going to leave you less than satisfied. And I understand that. But I want you to hear from me. I really want you to hear from my heart what I think and where I think we're going now. And so I'm going to use a few notes because I want to make sure I hit some key points, but I really just want to talk to you today. So first, the question I hear most of the time is, why am I still at work? Many of us are still here at our workplace, and we need to get the job done. But the questions are out there, why am I still at work? Quite simply, it's because your mission matters. Your mission matters. Today, right now, there are American airmen, soldiers, sailors, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen that are in harm's way. And they are relying upon the products that we produce. The aircraft, the commodities, and the software that we produce in ALC, they're relying on it right now, as we speak. And today, right now, in the fight against the coronavirus, it's the weapon systems that you support which are on the front lines. It's the mobility platforms that you support that are carrying aid to the states that are most in need, that are moving American citizens from other countries back to the U.S., that are carrying medical supplies to where they're most needed. Those are the weapon systems that are on the front line of this fight, and those are the weapon systems that you support. We all took an oath when we joined the Air Force. And when we joined the Air Force and we took that oath, we knew there'd be times of sacrifice. And frankly, right now is one of those times. It's one of those times that we have to sacrifice and be here where our nation needs us. Our mission matters. It matters more today than it ever has. We can't give our adversaries any kind of thought that we are weaker today than we were yesterday. We need to be prepared and ready, and we need to be on our posts now during this crisis more than ever. So for those of you who are there, who are on post right now, who are doing your jobs, I thank you for it. And your nation thanks you for it. That's why we're still at work right now. All right, the second question I get, and it's a very valid question too. Okay, if I'm going to be at work, what are you doing to protect me while I'm here? So let me go through three things. First, we've tried to do everything in the workplace that we possibly can to ensure that you are as protected as possible when you're at work. We've changed our shifts, as you know. We're staggering our breaks. We're working on making sure that at all places possible, we're affecting that minimum social distancing that we need. However, we realize that there's some tasks that we ask you to do in the maintenance arena that you can't social distance from. And so because of that, we've increased our cleaning. We've increased our cleaning in our break rooms, in our bathrooms, in all of our common areas. We're now doing that every day. We worked hard to get you all the cleaning supplies that you need and the PPE that you need. Again, we understand you can't always social distance. So when you can't, we want to make sure you have the PPE that you need to to take care of your job in that environment. I want to shout out to our cleaning crew. These folks don't get the credit they deserve, but our Good Vocations folks have just done an amazing job. They have stepped up, and they really have been heroes for us in this fight. They are now coming and cleaning every single day. And when we have a positive case in the complex, they're our first responders. So I want to thank them, and I want to thank James Hogan and our ALC safety team for the tireless work that he's been doing to make sure that you have the cleaning supplies and the PPE you need to do your jobs. All right, second thing, when we have a case, what are we doing about it to protect you? Anytime we have a positive COVID-19 case in the complex, we immediately take action. And that action includes we'll clear the work area immediately, and we'll bring in our contract cleaning crew. The Good Vocation has a specialized cleaning crew that comes in to clean in areas that have a COVID-19 positive. We do that immediately and before we bring anyone back to work. Then we talk to the individual that tested positive, and we do what's called contact tracing. And anyone that had close contact with that individual for an extended period of time, we'll quarantine those individuals. And then lastly, we'll make sure everyone is aware of it, and we'll rope off that area, whether it's an aircraft or a building. We'll impound aircraft if we have to, and until it's safe for people to come back to work. So those are the things we're doing to make sure if we have a positive that we're taking care of it. Now I'll tell you, when we have a positive on other places of the base, we may or may not hear about that. And I know that causes some anxiety. As the numbers grow, we won't have the word out there every time there is a positive in a different organization that doesn't affect the ALC. What I can assure you, though, if you are impacted by a COVID positive case, you will know about it, and we will take the proper actions for that. And then the last thing on what we're doing to protect you is we're really watching very closely what's happening in the state of Georgia, in the local area. I'm in contact with all of our local leaders and our healthcare officials to watch the number of cases and to watch the capacity of our medical system. Right now, everything is fine. We have the capacity off the installation to take care of the situation that we have right now. But I will assure you that if things change, if the situation worsens in the local area, we'll take the steps we need to protect you. Okay, the third question that I hear a lot: why isn't everyone else working? It boils down to this. We know with the coronavirus that there are certain folks that are at a higher risk of complications if they were to contract COVID-19. That includes folks that are 65 or older. It includes folks that have underlying health conditions. So given that there is such a risk for those folks, it is our responsibility to ensure that if we have folks that are in our workforce that have those underlying conditions, that we do everything we can to protect them. Because if they get COVID-19 versus if I get it, it could be a totally different outcome. And so we owe it to them. So because of that, we have put folks on weather and safety leave. It's an administrative type of leave for those who have underlying health conditions that are at higher risk if they were to contract COVID-19. We're really protecting those who are at high risk. And in my mind, it's the absolute right thing to do. So let me speak to you all who may be high risk right now that are watching this from your house on Facebook, that are on weather and safety leave. You are valuable team members to our team. We miss you. We're trying to get the job done, but without you, it's really hard. But you are doing what we need you to do right now, and that is staying safe and protecting yourself. So I know you'd rather be here with us. I know you'd rather be with your teammates. But if you're high risk and you have underlying health conditions, I need you where you are right now. I need you staying safe. I need you protecting yourself at home. Then when we're ready to bring you back, which is hopefully soon, we'll bring you back healthy and ready to accomplish our mission. So again, these are unprecedented times. None of us have ever dealt with anything like this before. And as we try to balance taking care of our people and accomplishing the mission, I can tell you it's not an easy balance to strike. And we're doing our best to do that. And by protecting those at high risk is one of those ways. Okay, fourth question that we get. What about masks? Am I supposed to wear a mask? Am I not supposed to wear a mask? Well, I'll tell you, I have my masks here. And masks, first of all, are not a replacement for social distancing. It is a complement for social distancing. And in our work areas, there are times, like we said before, that we can't affect that 6 feet social distancing, and so we have to have masks. So when we can't affect social distancing, we need to be wearing them. I highly encourage you to do that. At work, if you need a mask, you need to talk to your supervisor. We have worked hard to procure different types of masks for different types of situations. If you need them, talk to your supervisor. We will have them for you. I have mine. I have mine for my uniform. This is not an old uniform, by the way. This is just fabric that looks like the uniform fabric. I have that. And just to get a rise out of some of you, I have the one my mom made and sent from home. So when I'm in my civilian clothes, I can wear my Pittsburgh Steeler mask too. So I have my masks. I hope you have yours. Wear them. It's important. All right, last question, and then I'll give Ms. Frazier and Colonel Lawrence a chance to say a few words. What happens next? What happens next? All the data that I see and that we have access to says that the spike and the peak in cases in Georgia will be within the next 2 weeks or so. So for that next few weeks, what we need to do is follow the instructions from the governor, from his shelter in place, follow the guidance from the CDC, and stay safe. Look out for each other. But then what we need to be doing is thinking about what happens after that. And really that's where your leadership team is working right now. We got to figure out what the new normal looks like. I don't know what that looks like. I don't think any of us do. But here's what I do know. It doesn't look like February of 2020. It looks totally different than that. I need your help to help shape what that new normal is going to look like. We're working right now on how and when we bring back our high-risk folks. And again, I hope that is soon, sooner rather than later. Weeks, not months, to bring our folks back. But we have to think about everything from what our shift schedule looks like, what it needs to look like in the new normal, and what our PPE needs to look like. I don't have all the answers, and I've often found that really the best answers come from you. So I would ask if you have ideas as we bring the rest of our workforce back and we settle into what a new normal would look like, what are the best ways for us to do that? I'm all ears. I want to hear what you have to say on that. Before I close, let me turn it over to Ms. Frazier and Colonel Lawrence for a few words. Donna?
Yes, sir. I think that the one thing that I would say is thank you. The civilian population at Robins Air Force Base, the military population here, for my 38 plus years, has always stepped forward in a crisis. Desert Shield, Desert Storm, Vietnam, name a crisis that we've been in, this workforce has stepped forward and done an outstanding job. Where we are today in these unprecedented times, they are doing the same thing. We look forward to seeing where we go next, how we get the workforce back, and what we can do to continue to support the mission that we have. This team's got it, and they're going to do a great job, sir.
Thanks, Donna. Colonel Lawrence?
Sir, thank you for the opportunity. And I just want to echo the similar words and say thank you. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for your service and your commitment. It's not lost on me that what you do is so important. But nevertheless, there are people walking around every day that have no idea about the level of contribution you make. If you think about it, somebody walked in their front yard this morning and picked up a newspaper. Somebody went on a bike ride with their dearest family members, all because of what you do. It is important for us to remember in these challenging times that your contributions are important and that what we do is to make sure that this country continues to prosper. What we need more from you than any other time is for you to trust us, and we'll trust you to do the things that we need to do for the right reasons. It cannot be overstated how important it is for us to be kind and memorable with our teammates. As we go through this challenging time, just remember, we only have each other. And that often is most important in these kinds of times. So I thank you for the opportunity, sir.
Thanks. Hey, team. Thank you. Especially to those who are still on the post right now doing the job the nation asks you to do. Thank you for that. Your leadership team here is blessed to be able to serve with each of you. Hey, during this time, there's a lot of heroes right now. There's a lot of heroes that in February of 2020 we took for granted. It's those heroes that are working at the grocery stores right now and keeping the grocery stores open. It's those heroes that are driving trucks across country to make sure that we have toilet paper on the shelves. It's those heroes that are working in the delivery trucks. It's those heroes that are working, of course, in our medical profession right now on the front lines of this fight against coronavirus. It's our heroes that we think about maybe a little bit more often, our first responders that are there always for us. And in my book, there's no greater heroes than you. Our great men and women of our Air Force and this air logistics complex that, despite the crisis around us, show up to work and do our very best job for our nation. And so to you, I say thank you, and I'm proud to serve with you. There's a lot of uncertainty out there right now, and there will continue to be. And there's a lot I don't know. But one thing I do know is we will get through this, and we'll get through this together. I thank you very much.